everyone, this is Alisha Costanzo and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be playing my tabletop TBR game. I'm super excited. I've read all of my books for this month, so in my wrap up I have no punishment, spoiler alert, for that. But I'm feeling really good. I have read a lot of books for the Bookathon, which is also super exciting. Which means that this month I'm also going to be participating in another readathon, which is the Spoopsathon, which is a spooky readathon by Spoops. And I'm super excited to participate in it. I've already signed up. I've already got some choices off to the side, but I'll put a full TBR in the vlog that I'm gonna do for this readathon. So there's that for you. Anyways, with that in mind, let's go on to play my tabletop TBR game with roll number 1.
All right, roll number 1 is a doubles already. I passed the star, so I have to complete. So this is just a regular space. So let's take one of these guys. Putting off. Well, all right then. I've got an idea for that guy.
So roll number 1 was putting off. And the book I've been putting off for no particular, well, for a few particular reasons, but it is going to be Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff, and that is because it is the end of this trilogy. And he has broken my heart and flipped everything around so many times, and I am anticipating this so much that I keep putting it off. Even the last one in one of my challenges. So I'm going to read it this month. I'm going to read it in October. I'm going to enjoy it. This is going to be fantastic. Okay? Okay. By the way, Book 3 in the Nevernight series, which means violence, assassins, blood, trickery, traitory, there's traitors, and oh my gosh, the violence and the underhandedness and the politics in it, not usually things that I like, but I really like them in dark fantasy for some reason. Put them in urban fantasy, not so much a fan. Put them in high fantasy, not so much a fan. Put them in dark fantasy and make it enough action that the politics really like mash together with it, and I'm all for it. And that is what this book is, or what the series is, and so I am going to love it. Okay, let's get on to roll number 2 because I already got a double, so in the challenge +1, I'm already up to 8 rolls. So wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck for the rest of these.
Roll number 2. 11. 12. Randomize my library.
So roll number 2 was randomize my library. My game is really liking this prompt for the last couple of months. Here's my randomizer. Let's figure out what this number is. I got 361, which means it's one of my really, really early ones. And I got, I don't know how to say this, Lavinia by Ursula K. Le Guin. Now, I know nothing about this. I don't really plan to know anything about this before I get into it, so my apologies to you now for that. But Ursula K. Le Guin is the author of a story that I often read to my classes and taught them and had them write papers on. And I really love the way her mind works, and so I'm really hoping that I'm gonna like this and some of that satirical stuff is going to be in it. So that is why it's on my TBR and my wish list for the library. So here's hoping I really like it. It is kind of a chunker though, so we'll see how happy I am with that. And I apologize for my cats meowing, but they're ridiculous and I can't shut them up, so there's gonna be mouse. Anyways, let's get on to roll number 3.
Roll number 3. 9. 6 guys. Intimidating read. Well, this is going great.
So roll number 3 is an intimidating read. And this one's actually on my 21 before 2021 list because I really just, I've had it for a long time and I really just want to get it over with. And that is Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. And it's kind of one of those books I should have read by now, and I'm trying to include one every year at least. I've already read a few of them, and I'm like, I need to read it, so it's intimidating, it's kind of chunky, it's literary, it's just not my thing. So this is going on my TBR for October. I don't really know much about what it is other than what a Catch-22 is, which is you're between a rock and a hard spot. No matter what you do, you're screwed. So we'll see what happens with this. All right, let's get on to roll number 4.
Roll number 4. 7. Another one of these guys. 3 out of my comfort zone.
So rule number 4 is to read outside of my comfort zone. So let's put up my little wheel here and see what I get. Okay, so it's memoir. That is not bad. I actually do like memoir. It's not something I read very often, but I do like them. So I'm going to pick something that has been on my list for a while, and that is Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick. I really like her as an actress. I feel like her reading this is going to be fun. The last one I listened to, by Drew Barrymore, who is another actress that I really love, I was iffy on, so I'm really hoping this gets me out of that memoir funk. I know it's about her life. I look forward to learning more about her as a person. So, alright, let's get on to roll number 5.
Roll number 5. Seven again. Roll this guy. 1. Series to continue.
Roll number 5 is a series continuation. So once again, we're going to put up one of my wheels. I feel like I have no control. And we're going to see what series I'm going to be continue reading. I really need to take a few of them off of here because I no longer want to read them thanks to this last month, but I didn't do that this time. Alright, so the Half Bad series. I have been part of the way through Half Wild, which is book number 2 by Sally Green, and I feel like it's just in a slow bit and I need to get back into it, so I'm totally okay with getting into it again. This is about a witch who was born half white, half black witch, which means he's half bad, and the governing body, like, he's the only one, so they keep making all these laws for him and torturing him, and people really dislike him and they like mark him and all these things, and he's been kept in a cage and just a whole bunch of abuse for the circumstance of his birth, which is a great metaphor, by the way. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how this changes in book number 2, especially if his father shows up again. So, okay, we can do this. Let's get on to roll number 6.
Roll number 6. 7. So, I have to complete a challenge, and I have to roll again. It's as good as getting a doubles. Only I have this guy to do as well. Oh, I need to pull 2 of them because I need to complete my challenge for the first roll. From all sorts, out of sorts. Alright, so here's the first one. TBR redo. Okay. Okay, that was not so bad. I'm going to pick you. Okay, folded. Reading the best list. Oh, that's gonna take me a long time. Okay.
So, I got another challenge. Alright. Okay, we can do this. Forgot to pick my first challenge. So my first challenge was supposed to be a TBR redo. And for that I chose urban fantasy, which is one of the parts. I have 4 redo prompt things listed, so it's going to be an urban fantasy, and I'm going to pick Guilty Pleasures by Laurel K. Hamilton. Been wanting to reread this for a while. It's definitely urban fantasy horror-esque, like it's got both of those things mashed together, so that is what we are going to go with for that one. And for our second challenge is a daunting one. Reading the best list. That means going to Goodreads and choosing one of those best lists and reading them. I can either read all of the ones that won, or I can pick one of the genres and read all of those. So, what I chose to do was actually to read the romance list. Surprise, surprise. Not my fantasy, not my YA fantasy, not my sci-fi, not my horror, which are all things that I would normally read, but I've been getting into romance, and I'm being surprised by the things that I like in just plain contemporary romance, so this is what I'm going to give a try. And so I'm kind of cheating on my first pick though, because it still feels like it's fantasy, and that is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer, I'm not going to say your last name right, honey, I'm sorry. Jennifer L. Armentrout? You know what book I'm talking about. It's all over the place. So that's the one I'm going to read this month. I don't really know anything about it other than what some booktubers have said, and that it's going to be high tension. She has to be virginal. There's warrior-esque things. There's some romancy things between her and her guard. Looking forward to seeing what happens. So, yes. All right. Let's get on to roll number 7.
Go on to roll number 7. 9. With a 7. Should have read by now. Oh, this is just getting more and more intimidating.
Our 7th roll. I should have read by now, which is what this guy is for, as I had him up there. So let's see what I pick. Let's see what the TBR gods have in store for me. The Chronicles of Narnia, which I own somewhere on my shelves. I've tried reading them before. I haven't gotten very far. I think an audiobook might really, really help me with this one. So I'm going to read the first one. But, yeah. Because there's more of them, I'm going to put this guy back in here and just count my Chronicles of Narnia. Alright. Well, let's go on to our 8th and hopefully final roll and get on with this.
Alright, hopefully our 8th and final roll. I'm gonna have to start this whole thing over again. Alright, let's close all these guys up. We're gonna round 2. Oh my god.
So where that was our final roll for the game, and I have a kitty. I have a pumpkin. Hi pumpkin, say hello. Say hello. I get to start again. I think this is the round that it was made for, because I wasn't quite so happy about all the things that were on my list. I was going to be forced to read like those challenges. So let's start again and wipe the board clean. Forget about all that stuff that happened, and let's start with roll number 1 again.
Can't remember where I was last. I think I was here last. Let's start again. So take 2, roll number 1. 9. I'm still gonna have to do a star and a +1, which means I have 7 so far. However, I don't have the extra like pull. I just have to pull one of these guys. So let's go with a different one than I got last time. This guy. Recommended by Poppy. That is my dad. And he's got plenty of books he wants me to read, so that should not be that hard.
So roll number 1 is a challenge. At least I landed on the challenge board, on the star, so I didn't have to do 2 prompts for this like I did last time. But this is recommended by Poppy, who is my dad. And so I asked him for a list of things to read, and I'm not going to give you all 5 of them right now. But the one I decided to read first was Origin by Dan Brown. Kind of thinking of getting The Worst over first, because I've tried Dan Brown before and I haven't really liked it. So let's give it another try. I find that as I grow, I like things more. I like different genres and different authors, so I'm really hoping that this will be good. I don't know anything about it. I'm sorry I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to try going in and looking. I'd rather just be surprised. A recommendation by my dad, by Poppy, is Dan Brown Origin. Alright, let's get on to roll number 2.
Roll number 2. 6. And this is draw 2, read 2. Alright. My first draw. I shuffled you. Okay, well, I guess putting off will be my first one. Just destroying the whole thing here. And I'm just going to cut it to make sure I don't get the same thing again. Reread. Okay, there's some things I'd like to reread.
And roll number 2 is kind of like hitting a double, because I got 2 prompts and I need to pick 2 books for it. So the first one I got again, Putting Off, which I'm going to stick with. I'm going to do A Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff. So we'll do that. It'll be fine. I've already talked about it. We don't need to go over it again. The second one is, if I can find it, the second one is a reread, which works for one of the ones I picked before for a redo challenge. It was a reread, and it's going to be Guilty Pleasures by Laurel K. Hamilton, because I want to reread it. And it's sitting and waiting in my holds right now for me. And I also want to do it for Spoopsathon. So we're in a good place. This is about a necromancer who works for the cops, and she raises the dead to answer questions and stuff for police procedures, and she gets in a lot of trouble with some vampires and some weird creatures and that kind of thing. So it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be violent, it's gonna be sexy, and I'm excited. Let's get on to roll number 3.
Roll number 3. 7. This guy, we've got a 2. cover color, which is that guy.
Rule number 3 is cover color, and so let's put up my wheel and see what color I get. So I got pink, which surprises me because I don't think I own a lot of pink books in general. I don't think I put a lot of pink books on my list. So I did find one, and the pink's kind of like a pink. It's like a pank. It's like a pank. And it's going to be The Night Country by Melissa Albert. It's going to be book number 2 to the Hazelwood. So I'm excited to keep going with this already. I'm pretty into it. I know what happened in the last one because I just read it. So I'm excited to get to the sequel. All right. What number am I on? I don't even know anymore. I'm on roll number 4 of this redo. Let's just get to it.
Roll number 4. Roll number 4. 5. Double prompt, which means 2 prompts for the same book. So we have a gory read and a graphic novel together. That actually sounds like fun.
So roll number 4 is a double prompt, which means I do 2 prompts for 1 book. It's better than 2 prompts for 2 books. And those are going to be gory read and a graphic novel. And I picked one that I've been putting off and have had on my TBR before, and that is Fables. Because it's nice and short, I own it, I don't have to wait for it, I know it's gory because I've started it already. This is about creatures from fairy tales and fables and stuff like that. The humans get to live in human society, or the human-looking ones in human society, and the other ones are ostracized, and this is about the things that happen to them. It's kind of noir-esque, so I'm pretty excited to actually finish reading this. Pretty excited. Okay, let's get on to roll number 5.
Roll number 5. 7. We didn't get that far again. 5. A 5-star prediction.
So roll number 5 is a 5-star prediction, and so I have my wheel again, and we're gonna spin it, and I had to update it before I did this because there's some things on there that I wasn't in the mood for. So I got The Chemist by Stephanie Meyer, and I think this is the last book of hers for me to read that I know of hers. So I'm pretty excited about it. I know it's outside of her normal wheelhouse, and I know it's a mystery thriller, and that's all I really know about it. So I'm excited to read this and see how much I like her in a different genre, because I liked The Host. To be fair, I kind of liked Twilight. It wasn't the best, wasn't the worst of all the books that I've ever read. So let's see what happens. I've got more books to do. So let's get on to roll number 6.
Roll number 6. 11. This guy again. Got a 4, which is starts with.
So roll number 6 is starts with. So again, let's put our wheel up and see what letter I get for this. I got a K again, which is weird. K's and W's for some reason, apparently. And so I'm going to choose Kill the Queen, and that is by Jennifer Estep. And pretty much I don't know what this is about. I liked the cover. The cover matches a lot of the urban fantasy that I like to read. And so, leather pants, halter top, knife, kingdom. I'm gonna see who's gonna usurp who and what kind of things are gonna go down. I don't know if the queen is actually the one on the cover or not, or the one who's gonna be doing the killing. But this should be exciting. So, okay. Let's get on to roll number 7.
And hopefully our last and 7th roll is a 7. And I got that damn thing again. Alright, 8 rolls in another challenge. Just gonna pick this top guy. I don't even feel like shuffling. Recommended by Becky, who's my bestie. Okay. That sounds quite interesting.
So roll number 7 is another recommended by, and that is Becky, who is my bestie. I've known her since I was 2. We have very similar reading tastes in general, and when I messaged her about this, she's like, I'm not going to pick the things that we normally read. Should have been a red flag. Because the conversation after she gave me the list of 5, I was like, I thought you were going to be a little bit nicer to me than you are. I'm excited to read one of the books on the list. This one, not so much. This one, the first one I chose off her list, is actually her favorite. She's watched the movie a whole bunch, she's read the book finally, and she loved it so much more, and she loved the movie. And it is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. And I've watched the movie a few times, I didn't quite like it that much, so we'll see if the book does any better. But she was definitely mean to me on this. One of the books is the one I actually own. The rest of them I'm just like, I've never heard of these before, so this will be an interesting read. Not any of the ones that I have on my holds lists, or my wish list that she's recommended to me before. Maybe I should have just picked ones I know she recommended to me before. I don't know, but this is what I did, and so I've dug myself my own hole. Thank you, bestie, for punishing me, because I'm sure you guys are gonna love it. Alright, let's get on to what is hopefully our 8th and final roll. Okay, let's get this over with.
8th and hopefully final roll is a 6. Alright, let's do a real roll. And we get a 3. Out of my comfort zone. Alright, that is the end of that. There's a whole lot of playing. Okay.
So we got out of our comfort zone again. Let's put up the wheel yet again and see what I get for this guy, because feeling kind of beat up right now, if I'm being honest with you. This is my birthday month, and this is being so mean to me. So October is my birthday month. October 1st is my birthday, and this is just being so mean to me. I do get to do some fun things in October that I can't tell you about right now, but you will see later after the fact, because... Alright, I got classic. We all know how I feel about literature and classics, and so I'm gonna just pull one out of here and see what happens. I am gonna claim a birthday right, and if I do not like this book, I will pick a different one that I have access to later in the month. Oh my god. Really? War and Peace. Talk about the biggest fucking chonker book ever. Alright, probably gonna change that out in the month. We'll see what happens. But I'm gonna go now before this gets any worse and say thank you guys for sticking around and wish me luck. I will see you guys next time. Bye.